Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, we are going to take a look at something really important. OpenAI recently came out with their economic blueprint, and this is important because this blueprint outlines policy proposals for how the US can maximize AI's benefit, bolster national security, and drive economic growth. This report basically talks about how and why US should become more serious when it comes to AI. So this report starts by saying that today OpenAI is releasing a new economic blueprint that lays out our policy proposals for extending America's global leadership in AI innovation. As AI becomes more advanced, we believe America needs to act now to maximize the technology's potential and possibilities while minimizing its harm. AI is too powerful to be led and shaped by autocrats, but that is the growing risk that we face. Now, this is very important because in AI community also, people have been saying that AI should be controlled by a democratic nation and not an autocratic one because of power distribution. Otherwise, too much power will be centralized at a single location. Shared prosperity is as near and measurable as the new jobs and growth that will come from building more AI infrastructure like data centers, chip manufacturing facilities, and power plants. So, while saying all of these things, they also referred back to their report. This report, which came out in September 2024, talks about economic returns on US investment in democratic AI. And OpenAI came with a lot of numbers of how it can impact different states in US. For example, OpenAI calculates the following annual impacts on different states and the net new jobs that can be created in those specific states and the growth in the GDP that can be seen. Similarly, this report also talks about China's infrastructure surge at a glance. So it raises a potential point that how Chinese organizations like Alibaba and DeepSeek are coming up with really good models, and the infrastructure that China is creating can be considered a threat and ultimately overtaking US. And then it goes on and breaks down the information state-wise. So going back to the economic blueprint, as our CEO Sam Altman has written, and this is referring back to the article that Sam Altman has written on the intelligence age. And this is interesting because in this article, there have been mentions of upcoming superintelligence and why is it very important. So I would highly urge you guys to read this as well. AI will soon help our children to do things we can't. Not far off in the future in which everyone's life can do better than anyone's life is now. With such prosperity in sight, we want to work with policymakers to ensure that AI's benefits are shared responsibly and equitably. This blueprint is designed to support the entrepreneurship and individual freedoms that have long been the heart of American innovation system. Now they talk about that America have been in this place previously. America has faced similar moments in the past and we know how to think big, build big and act big. Now it's time to channel that same spirit as we enter into the intelligence age. Then it takes an example of automotives. Automobiles weren't invented here. They were invented in Europe. Early proponents envisioned the car transforming from how people lived and worked. Supply chains and customer bases could be expanded and diversified. But in UK, where some of the earliest cars were introduced, the new industry's growth was stunted by regulation. The 1865 Red Flag Act required a flag bearer to walk ahead of any car to warn others on the road and wave the car aside in favor of horse-drawn transport. Now, this is a direct take on how the regulations in AI are coming up. Continuing with the example, they say, how could a person walk in front of a car without getting run over? Which is a very good point. Because of another requirement that the cars move no faster than 4 miles per hour. So there are a lot of bottlenecks that OpenAI is talking about here when it comes to regulation. America took a very different approach and the country became the heart of world's auto industry, mass producing affordable cars with the help of local, state and federal officials who saw the industry's potential. So this is showcasing how the American industry, when it comes to automotives, changed the narrative and overcoming those regulations helped US become a big player in automobile. Today, while some countries sideline AI and its economic potential, the US government can clear and scale the road for its AI industry too. And there are 3 points. Continue the country's global leadership in innovation while protecting national security. Make sure we get it right in AI access and benefit from the start, and maximizing the economic opportunity of AI for communities across the country. So these are three very important points that OpenAI is putting forward in front of US government. And just as the drivers are expected to stick to clear common sense and standard that help keep the actual road safe, developers and users have a responsibility to follow clear common sense standard that will keep AI roads safe. Then OpenAI talks about the path forward. Chips, data, energy, and talent are key to winning on AI. Now, this is very important. So, they are putting emphasis on these four things: chips, data, energy, and talent. And this is a race America can and must win. So, this is a very strong point here that they want to put America at the forefront of AI. There's an estimated $175 billion sitting in the global funds waiting investment in AI projects. And if the US doesn't attract those funds, they will flow to China-backed projects. And these are the same projects that we were talking about, something like Quen or DeepSeek, strengthening the Chinese Communist Party global influence. Now, this is a very strong point and urge from OpenAI to propagate this idea of creating AI infrastructure inside US so that it can attract more and more AI investment rather than it going into the Communist Party like China. OpenAI believe that making sure AI benefits the most people possible means enabling AI through common sense rules aimed at protecting people from actual harms and building democratic AI shaped by the values that the US has always stood for. And there are 3 points here. A free market promoting free and fair competition that drives innovation. Freedom for developers and users to work with and direct our tools as they see fit, in exchange for following clear common sense standards that help keep AI safe for everyone and being accountable when they don't. Preventing government use of AI tools to amass power and control their citizens or to threaten or coerce other states. As for any industry, we need common sense rule of road that safeguard the public while helping innovators thrive by encouraging investment, competition, and greater freedom for everyone. So with this, OpenAI is saying that developers and users should be given freedom to use this technology however they feel like for forwarding the innovation and attracting more investment, but to keep in mind the general common sense guardrails while utilizing this powerful technology. And they go on talking about how America is great in doing things related to technology and how they can be leaders in this particular space as well. This was a brief overview of the full report that they have come out with. The full report can be seen here, which is AI in America. In this report, they talk about that their tools are being used to speed up development of life-saving medical treatments, accelerate scientific research by US national laboratories, helping teacher basically in education, protect US military personnel against unmanned drone attacks, unlock new forms of creativity for artists, increase accessibility of artistic production, and make state and local government more efficient. So a lot of emphasis is being put on the state that how OpenAI is helping them achieve some of the important tasks. If we go below this report, they say that the US government can pave the road for its AI industry to first continue the country's global leadership in innovation while protecting national security, make sure we get it right on AI access and benefit from the start, and the third is maximize the economic potential and opportunity of AI for communities across the country. Then this report goes on into much detail where we currently stand. Again, this brings the point of that $175 billion of investment sitting, which America should attract. Then they say that the US always succeeds when it bets on its ecosystem of innovators and entrepreneurs to help US AI companies develop and employ frontier models securely, and with the needed safeguards, the federal government should. And then they put forward some of the points that, as appropriate, share national security related information and resources that it alone maintains, such as briefings on security threats to the industry and high level results of testing US and non US AI models, with US AI companies pursuing advanced research. Then incentivize AI companies to deploy their products widely, including to be allied and partnered nation, and to support US government agencies. So this is a very strong point here that OpenAI is putting forward, that US government should become more approachable and open to discussing potential partnerships and providing freedom for these AI companies to do more advanced research. Then they also go into much detail of what kind of support the federal government can provide to organizations like OpenAI. Then OpenAI talks about the rules of the road. They say that we believe that more US-led development of AI becomes available, the more widely it will be deployed, the more trusted it will become. So for that, they say that government and AI industry need to learn from the past and lay the proper rules so that when accessing AI tools and products, users feel confident that their children will be protected from potential harm. They will know where the content come from. They will be able to personalize the AI tools that they use. So in crux, they want to say that for them, it means getting AI access and benefits right from the start. And for this, when we talk about children's safety, they have come out with some of the solutions, encouraging policy solutions that prevent the creation and distribution of AI generated child sexual abuse material, incorporate CSAM and CSEM protection throughout AI development lifecycle, take steps to prevent downstream developers from using their models to generate CSAM or CSEM, promote conditions that support robust and lasting partnerships among AI companies and law enforcement. Moving forward, then it talks about infrastructure as a destiny. OpenAI believe that building enough infrastructure is not just vital for ensuring that AI around the world is based on US rather than China based technology. It's an unmissable opportunity to catalyze a reindustrialization of the US. Now, this is a very strong point of putting forward the importance of the infrastructure. They believe China is rapidly growing in this area, and this is something which US should not miss out on. And they're also using terminology like reindustrialization. That's a very strong point here. For them, this means seizing the moment and building the infrastructure needed to produce enough energy and chips to drive down the cost of compute and make it abundant. In turn, this will create tens of thousands of skilled trade jobs that we saw in this particular report that they came out with, ultimately supporting the kind of breakthroughs and innovation that drive lasting economic growth. For this, the solution that they come out with is that we need a foundational strategy to ensure that investment in infrastructure benefits the most people possible and maximizes access to AI. This includes policies and initiatives that encourage rather than stifle the developers, supporting thriving AI ecosystems of labs, startups, and larger companies. So basically, they are talking about the solution of providing an environment or an ecosystem from the government of US for labs or startups or larger companies to thrive in this AI economy. Then they go on to talk about digitizing government data currently in the analog form, a compact for AI among US allies and partner nations, AI economic zones created by local or state alongside the federal government, creation of AI research labs and workforces aligned with the key local industries, nationwide AI education strategy, investment in national research infrastructure that would give scientists, innovators, and educators access to the compute and data necessary, dramatically increasing federal spending on power and data transmission and streamline approval for new lines. Federal backstops for high-value AI public works that illustrate that the model federal backstops for high-value AI public works. So the OpenAI's economic blueprint emphasizes that critical need for the US to lead in artificial intelligence innovation by fostering infrastructure, talent, and responsible governance through collaboration between public and private sectors. OpenAI envisions a future where AI catalyzes reindustrialization, creates widespread economic opportunities, and reinforces democratic values. The blueprint outlines actionable strategies, including national security safeguards, infrastructure investment, education initiatives, and equitable access to AI resources. OpenAI remains committed to partnering with policymakers, developers, and allied nations to ensure AI benefits as many people as possible while addressing challenges responsibly. So this is what OpenAI thinks of the future when it comes to economic blueprint. What are your thoughts? Put it down in the comments and I'll see you in the next one.